Good evening, design community. Welcome to Design Chat with Ida Laura. Today is May 14, 2020. I am very happy because the CAM collection and Field Deal Textile are sponsoring this Instagram session. Sam, the rep from South Florida, was so kind to send me a material board, very beautiful and moody, with some of her favorite fabrics and patterns and colors. She also sent me different fabrics, different samples. For those who doesn't know Field Deal textile are manufactured in Brazil and Chile. This brand has experienced great success in the hospitality sector with the Ultratex. This is Ultratex. They are excited to bring this product to all sectors, not only to hospitality. Actually, this specific product was recently featured in a publication in the cruise ship interior expo on innovative materials. It passes the bleach clean specification necessary to be used in the cruise ships. What is so unique about this brand is that it's, of course, it's a bleach cleanable vinyl alternative, and when it goes to the landfill, it will only take 30 years to degrade, instead of the usual 400 years from other vinyl companies and fabrics. And it doesn't have to go to a special plant to be processed. It is extremely durable with double rocks, over 200,000. It is perfect for restaurant seating, headboards, gaming tables, etc. In addition, for every 1,000 jar, the company Field Deal Textile will plant 1,000 trees in the rainforest. This is they have a relationship with One Tree Planted organization. So, as a designer, you're making a conscious and both for the interior environment, your clients and the visitors' health, and for the mother nature. So make sure that you specify these bleach cleanable vinyls, not only because they're beautiful, because they have sustainable qualities as well. This actually, the blue shades that I have on my hands is one of my favorites. It has like a leather feel. It's very, very soft. Let me show you exactly which one is my favorite. This one. So I hope you can appreciate the texture. Feels so soft on your skin. It's so nice and beautiful. So please contact Sam. She should be there in the chat. Sam, if you can wave. Let's see, Sam. Provide your information. If you guys wanna order any sample, she can even overnight send it to your home if needed. She's very, very proactive, and she'll be there for you whenever you need it, and will support and collaborate with you in your projects. So please, Sam, provide your information and let the audience know that you're there for them, and that you are happy to collaborate with their projects. So, okay, so tonight's topic is a never-ending conversation that I'm gonna start today. What they didn't teach you in the design school. Let's be honest, if I will list the things that interior designers face as a professional and that design schools never taught, we will be here until tomorrow morning. Most interior design schools have well-balanced curriculums. Those CIDA approved interior design schools tend to be better in preparing the students in building systems and construction documentations. Today, I'm not here to tell you that your school failed on teaching you things that you are supposed to know when becoming a professional. I am here to talk about those acts-on that I have learned in my career path as an interior practitioner and an educator that nobody told me while a student. The ones that I will be focusing this evening are: 1, networking in person and virtual. Number 2, job interview techniques. Number 3, client meetings and presentation in person and virtual. And number 4, and the least exciting word for an interior designer, budget. So those are the topics that I'll be covering tonight. When I used to be a professional practice, when I used to teach a professional practice of interior design, a class where most of the students were 1 semester or 1 quarter away from graduation, I will come in my first day. This is true. I'm not inventing this. I will come on my first day, introduce myself, and project on the screen my LinkedIn profile. I will ask everyone to introduce themselves, and I will type their name in the LinkedIn Finder. Can you believe that in the very 21st century, more than half of the class didn't have a LinkedIn profile? Yes, believe it. So that turned into the first assignment, which was create a complete up and running LinkedIn profile. So with this type of exercises that I did with my students, I was giving a taste of what the real world would look like. When you were in design school, did your professors encourage you to network, to go to educational events, seminars, peer happy hours, etc.? Tell me. I can almost hear most of you saying, well, yes, of course. Yes, in my case, when I was in school, I remember there were so many events and I went maybe to 1 or 2. There was no time to do anything besides design assignments. I was working part-time. I was a newlywed. I didn't have time for anything extra, so no events. Then on my last semester, I shifted my mind and I told myself that no matter what, I was going to make the time. I set a goal to start volunteering, going to events, meeting people in the industry. At that time, I was very, very passionate about sustainability. So what I did was I joined USGBC, South Florida Chapter Board, which is the United States Green Building Council. And I served there for around 3 years. I started volunteering in school activities and slowly expanded my weak ties. That's what I did. But the school teachers taught me how to network, how to create my elevator speech, what to say on my first interview, how to begin my own design firm, how to develop a strong client relationships. The answer is no, for sure. Tell me if I'm wrong. I am here to fill some of those gaps and help you with these recommendations. So first topic, network. I'll give you 5 techniques to improve your networking game. Number 1, and listen carefully, attend the right event. So if you don't drink alcohol, don't go to a happy hour because you're not gonna have a good time. You're not gonna enjoy. You're gonna feel that somebody's pushing you to go to a happy hour. Instead, go to a panel presentation where you could make questions to the panelists and you can feel more comfortable. Number 2, have your elevator pitch ready. And what is an elevator pitch? Do you know what is an elevator pitch? I'll tell you. Is when you introduce yourself, you summarize what you do, you tell the person what you want, and you finish with a call of action. All of that in less than 5 minutes. So you should have that in your head, memorize for whenever you need it. Number 3, come prepared. Know who else is attending. Know who are the presenters. Who is organizing the happy hour? Who is organizing the event? What is the theme of the gathering? Just do your research before going to the event. Number 4, clarify your objectives. Do you want to meet colleagues in the industry? Do you want to meet vendors? Do you want to meet possible hiring managers because you're thinking on another job opportunity? Or just want to have fun? So make sure you're clear on what your goal is. Number 5, leverage your connection. You might see a friend in that specific event talking to someone that you really want to meet. So that's the moment where you go and say hi to your friend. So that person, introduce you to the other person that she or he is talking to. There are no rules to how or when to network. These techniques that I share had helped me to understand the networking game and dynamic, and to feel more confident when I'm out there in a specific networking event. Next, let's touch on job interviews. And I know 5 techniques that will help you feel more confident when going to a job interview. Number 1, research the industry and company. Come prepared at least to talk about one project. Imagine 2, if they clarify your selling points and the reason you want the job. So be clear on why you want that job. Number 3, listen, stay quiet, paying attention to what the interviewer is saying. Just listen. Number 4, practice good nonverbal communication, body language, face expression. Do it in front of a mirror. Practice, practice, practice. Bring several printed and digital copies of your resume and portfolio. You never know how many people are gonna be interviewing. And these techniques sound like silly and simple. Yes, I've heard it, I got it, yes, next. But when you are in your 3rd interview with the executive vice president of the company where you believe offers your dream job, that's when you have to put it together and make it happen. So, client meetings and presentations. Moving to the next one. Client meetings and presentations. I'll give you 5 techniques for successful client meetings and presentations. Number 1, arrive early and dress appropriate. And for me, number 2, come prepared. Please print the day before. Make sure you come ready with your material board. Also have a binder printed to hand out to all the meeting attendee. Number 3, when you are doing your presentation, make sure that you're looking to your client's eye. That shows that you are a confident person, that you know what you're talking about, that you believe in your work. So look to your client's eye. Number 4, give the client the opportunity to provide feedback. Ask for feedback. You want feedback. Silence is bad. Number 5, take notes or have somebody taking notes. And those 5 for me are the most important. These 3 important professional development skills that I just mentioned: networking, job interviews, client presentations. I briefly spoke about it, and you know what? I think that now, due to COVID-19, the way we have done this before is gonna be shifting, and we should be ready for it. Before COVID-19, and I know, we're gonna go back to COVID-19 again and again in the news, here in the live, I know. Did you ever interview via Skype? And I wanna see your answers. Did you ever network via Zoom or attended to a virtual happy hour? Did you ever present an entire project virtually? If you answer no to at least any of these questions, listen carefully. I'll give you 6 techniques for better virtual meetings and presentation. Number 1, and these are if you are the moderator. So if you're the moderator of the meeting, the virtual meeting, this is for you. Number 1, housekeeping first. Set the ground rules. Introduce the topic and the attendees. Tell the attendee all the meeting rules. When the attendee haven't met, I would really recommend that you use like an ice-breaking sentence, something to make everybody feel relaxed before talking business. That's the first one. The second one is to be prepared. You guys won't believe how many time it takes you to be prepared for these meetings. You have to organize your folders. You have to name it in a correct naming system. You have to ensure you have everything open, that the internet is working. So be prepared. Number 3, and this is gonna be shocking, but it really works for me. Turn off the camera. Yes, turn off the camera. If you get easily distracted or don't want to feel like exposed, you know, in front of 5 people, 7 people, 10 people, don't turn the camera on. So that will make you feel more comfortable. Number 4, record the meeting. If the platform you're presenting allows to record, do it. This will help you because you won't get distracted taking notes as others speak. You could also have somebody taking notes in the meeting just as a listener. That could help too. Number 4, strengthen your active listening. On face-to-face meetings, it's really easy to pick up important cues because of body language, face expressions, etc. Put your entire focus on the person speaking. It's like listen careful. Then demonstrate that you have paid attention by summarizing what he or she had said or asking a relevant question. That way you make sure that you are understanding, because you can be talking with somebody from Europe, from Finland, from Italy. So, you know, the accents and the different way they speak. So make sure you really repeat what, you know, summarize what they just said. And number 6, mute. I know. Mute. When the others are speaking, if you mute or if you ask everybody to mute, it will help you focus and concentrate more. Remember everybody to mute when the others are speaking. Now, virtual networking. Yes, this is the trend after COVID-19. Virtual networking. Repeat after me. Virtual networking. This is gonna be the new normal. Virtual networking. These are the most common virtual networking events that are becoming part of the new normal. And again, this is the time, take notes. Number 1, the most popular, the virtual happy hour. This is set up by a vendor or manufacturer representative to engage with designers. It could also be set up by an independent designer with inviting clients. The pros: you get to connect with several people at the same time. You get to connect in a different level, not only business. The cons: not everybody will accept a Zoom happy hour invitation. Some are and that's me. Some are tired to be in WebEx meeting the entire day. I don't want to be wearing the earplugs for 1 more hour. So it's not you, it's me. I'm going to decline the invitation. Number 2, one-on-one conversations. You could call a vendor or another designer to talk about how they're doing, their new normal, perhaps discuss about new products in the industry, new trends, anything, just to have a conversation. The pros, you connect in a personal level and you can expose your product. You can talk about your product, you can be specific about your product. The cons, you will have to do a lot of calls to reach to the more designers. Number 3, and for me this is pretty interesting, virtual yoga, virtual learning how to paint, virtual new skills classes, virtual meditation. Yes, this is what some vendors are doing, or designers to inviting their clients. Some vendors and designers are doing virtual sessions on topics or activities not related to design. Nothing to do with designs, just something completely random. Boot camp, Zumba, half an hour, something. The pros, you will get more attendees accepting this kind of virtual invitations because it's like a break from all the meetings. So during lunchtime, half an hour doing Zumba or meditation, like a guided meditation by a professional, I will accept that invitation. The cons, you won't get to talk about the product or services. This type of event will help you create connections for future business. Remember, after COVID-19, after we all get out, we're gonna be facing a new normal and we're gonna do some sort of business. We don't know how that normal would look like, but we're gonna go back to business. And I am a true believer of planting the seed and then see it grow. Okay, so moving to the next one. That was a good one, right? What if you don't know anybody? What if you don't know anybody and you are just a recent graduate? You just graduated in a Zoom graduation last week or 2 weeks ago, or you don't have a job, or you are a design student. How are you gonna network during COVID-19 if you don't get invites, you don't get CEU's invitations? Well, you can either join one of the organizations like IIDA, ASID, but I think that the most effective way to start networking and start meeting virtually right now is to first, again, you don't know anybody, you know only people from school. Reach out to a former professor, or if you're still in school, to a professor, and tell him, like, listen, I don't know what to do. There's no events. I don't know where to find events. That professor will either give you directions or where to go to this organization, this webpage, find this CEU, join this, do that. But also that professor can give you the email of a vendor or the email of a designer, an alumni from that school that is already an interior designer and is working in a firm. So that professor will give you the email or the phone number, and you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna call, or you're gonna email that person and say, this professor is referring me and I wanna learn about Ultratex, Sam. So Professor Katie gave me your phone number and I want to know about this new product. So my name is Ida. I haven't met you. Can you email me information? Can you mail me samples? And that's how you're gonna get started on the networking as we go through this whole COVID-19. Last for this evening, budget. I know, budget. This is very broad. This is a very, very broad topic that deserves its own live session or video. It's just it has so many things that we need to talk about, but I don't want to end the conversation without the things, the conversation about the things that you didn't teach in design school, without talking a little bit about budget. When you were in design school, in design studio classes, you were usually giving a design brief, a programmatic requirement, and unlimited imaginary resources. In the real world, there are limits, unfortunately. All projects have a predetermined budget. A project budget is the total projected cost needed to complete a project in a defined time or period. The project budget will include such things as labor costs, material procurement costs, and operating costs, etc. As naive designers, we tend to get excited specifying materials and luxurious furniture without considering the cost of these items. We also tend to let the time run without limiting the hours we put in the project. And I know, some days we are in that non-stop inspirational train that, never stop. Never stop. I would share 5 strategies, quick 5 strategies to keep your project within budget. Number 1, and we only budget in the beginning. One of the best ways to create an effective budget is to look at the expenses from the past project. If this is the first, review the budget from similar projects, and that's how you kind of do a comparison. Number 2, avoid scope creep. And these terms refers to the uncontrolled growth or changes in the scope of a project. Although it is common to have some aspects of the project change once in its underway, it is helpful to create a process for changes and to have their team skilled in this area. Hint, change orders. Create a framework to communicate changes from the client and help project managers keep the end goal in mind. This is essential to properly budgeting your team's time and keeping the project moving forward. Number 3, track staff time. In most firms, either large firms, small firms, your team is your best asset. Because many staff are salary, some firms don't closely track staff hours. It is hard to know how profitable certain clients and projects are without knowing how time is allocated. So with the right software, time tracking is very simple. So just go and that's timesheet. So you put your hours in the timesheet and that's how it gets tracked. There's so many softwares that can do that. Number 4, know your effective bill rate. Most firms cannot bill every hour of time, and most firms cannot bill for every hour of time, and calculating your effective bill rate highlights this fact. Let's say a member of your team worked 40 hours last week, but that person only billed 30 hours at a rate of 100 an hour. This means that your effective bill rate is 75 because it takes the non-billable time into account, those other 10 hours that were never billed. So those are non-billable times. Knowing your effective bill rate makes it easier to accurately price jobs and create budgets. Number 5, and this is the last one. Unlike traditional accounting, project accounting measures the financial performance of specific projects. It requires collecting key data throughout a project, such as time and expense information. Project accounting provides real-time data, giving firms the financial insights they need to thrive. In many cases, small decisions at key times can have a big impact on staying within a project budget. These recommendations that I gave you in budget and all the other topics are not even the 30% of the things that they didn't teach you and me in school. As an interior designer, we should never stop learning. Read, attend to seminars, CEUs, watch the news, tuning in my Instagram live every Thursday night, reach out to colleagues within the community, and you will always stay relevant. I am here for design, and design for me is people, you. The winner. Thank you for participating in the giveaway. I'll ship these to, I have the name here, Maria Leon 97. This is for you. I'll ship it to you next week. Thank you, Phil Do, again for sponsoring my live. And thank you guys. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and see you next Thursday on Design Chats with Ida Laura. Good evening. Thank you.